Hi, in this video I will show you how to make efficient audits with your vendors. The .legal compliance platform can be used to handle your vendors in terms of risks, but also in terms of assessments and audits of these vendors. These can be used in several parts of a vendor value chain, so it can be before you make a contract with a new vendor, and it can also be recurring audits with current vendors that you use active. In this list, you can see the classification level of each vendor you have registered in the platform, and you will also be able to find information on a vendor if you are carrying out audit statements or you need to send them a questionnaire. You can also see a registered audit frequency on each vendor. These parts you have mapped, and I have shown how in another demo video. What I will show in this video is how to carry out the audits with the vendors. Here you will navigate to Audits and Assessments in your menu and select External Audits. I have some examples in this demo. Basically, I have created a new audit group, and when I did so, I could give it a name, and then I could select one of my audit templates that I want to base this audit group on, a responsible within my organization, a user in the platform, and I can set a deadline for when I expect the vendors to answer this questionnaire. I have an example here on an already created draft where I have all the vendors I have created in my platform, and based on some different filters, I can now make a group of vendors that I want to make this particular audit with. So here I can select, for instance, a classification I have made. It could be all vendors that have a high risk within this classification template. I can also select what kind of audit I expect them to answer. Let's say it needs to be an self-assessment. And then I will have a list of the 3 vendors that match these criteria. I can select those, and then I can select Send Audit to the vendors. Now I can see the deadline is exceeded, so let's just show example here. I will put the deadline a bit later. And now I can press Send Audit, and if I press Send, all these vendors will receive an email with a link to the particular audit. I have a predefined example on audits that have been sent to vendors already. It would look like this, and here I can see that I have 3 vendors who have submitted the questionnaire I sent in this audit group, and I have 2 vendors who is currently answering the questionnaire. For the vendor, it would look like this. They will receive an email with a link to a questionnaire, and they will navigate through the answers in this questionnaire. And when they have answered all questions, they will be able to submit it, which will give you a score in your audit group in the .legal compliance platform. You will get for each answer a report. So let's say this one was submitted, they only scored 43%, and this gives them a high risk level. Then you have a report where you can see the answers for each of the questions this particular vendor have answered. So you will find all the questions and what did the vendor answer, and you can have a recommendation. So if they scored low in a question, what is the particular recommendation in terms of next step with this vendor? You can also evaluate. So each received report, you can give an evaluation and write your comment on how did you expect the answer to be and how was the answer from the vendor. These questionnaires could look different, or so if let's say you want a declaration or you expect a declaration from a vendor, instead of sending a questionnaire with a lot of questions, you can simply send them a simple questionnaire where they can upload their declaration, and then it will be placed on the vendor itself. So in this way, you can organize your vendors in different audit groups based on information and filters so that they receive the questionnaire that they need based on their risk level and if they have a declaration or not. In this way, you make the job a lot easier for your vendors, and this will make the success in terms of progress for you as a data controller that bigger. All these vendor templates is of course made through the settings where you can create in the audit builder different vendor assessments that you want to use. We have some standard templates that you can use from default, but you can of course also create your own where you get the possibility to define questions, define sections, define that some questions should skip to other questions, that there will be a score on the question, and you will have different risk levels and intervals that you can define as well. In this way, it's very flexible and you can make the templates that is particularly useful for your organization and your vendors.